As the Atlantic's Sarah Fitzpatrick reports in a blockbuster news story today, quote, Trump and others have expressed concern that this effort could set a precedent for Trump to be subpoenaed to testify under oath about Epstein, according to 4 people familiar with the situation. As one administration official said, everyone's looking for an off-ramp. And that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what we're learning from this new reporting, because according to the Atlantic, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 9 people familiar with information that was submitted to the FBI and the DOJ in recent years told the Atlantic that they were alarmed that many documents, including those that they say include references to Trump, were not made public. 9 people with insight into the FBI's investigation of Epstein know that those materials relating to Trump exist and that they have been omitted from the DOJ's production of documents as required by law. This report also sheds light on how people inside the administration reacted when they realized the potential implications for the president. Trump's prominence in the files, quote, surprised White House staff members who told us they were unprepared for the release, end quote. As one staffer told The Atlantic, quote, that freaked out people. Nobody really knew what was coming. The report also details how the administration appears to have targeted Republican Congressman Thomas Massie for his campaign to get the files released. Quote, some of Massie's key staff members were suddenly offered more prestigious jobs in the Trump administration or more lucrative jobs in the private sector. The idea being that if Massie no longer had a full staff, he couldn't pursue ambitious legislation. But despite his relentless efforts to undermine this investigation, Trump's interest in keeping the files hidden remains a mystery, even to his closest allies. The Atlantic reports that Trump, who's not exactly known for his discretion, does not detail even privately what precisely in the files might be so embarrassing to him and those close to him, 4 administration officials told The Atlantic. What the president has clearly said, often in a barking tone, is that he wants his aides and allies to make the whole thing go away. But this issue is not going away. If anything, the hunt for answers about Jeffrey Epstein is just beginning. And neither the president, nor his allies, nor his cabinet secretary should assume that they will not end up in the hot seat. Starting us off tonight, Sarah Fitzpatrick. She's a staff writer for The Atlantic behind the remarkable reporting that broke late today. Sarah, welcome to the show. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
I want to start with a piece of reporting that really jumped out at me. 9 people, as you document, 9 people familiar with the information that was submitted to the FBI and the DOJ in recent years told you they were alarmed that lots of documents that they know to exist, including some that reference Trump, were not made public. Now, I guess I'm trying to figure out, were they alarmed about the 50 pages or so that are reportedly under wraps and that describe an accusation that Donald Trump sexually abused a minor, or are they alarmed about the concept that documents are withheld or other documents entirely? Do you have any sense of that?
Yes. So I can't get into the sourcing of my reporting, but what I will tell you is that this is a broad range of documents that covers several different kind of cases and individuals. So there's a large amount of material that references Donald Trump, some of it, that is not among the included material. Now, the New York Times and NPR has done some great reporting about a specific set of documents related to one accusation, but my reporting is broader than that, about multiple allegations that have been submitted to the FBI and DOJ in recent years and do not appear in the files.
You've reported on Jeffrey Epstein and his crimes and the young survivors for a really long time. I think closing in on a decade. This piece outlines how White House staff members were entirely unprepared for the Epstein files release and the tens of thousands of times that Donald Trump's name was actually mentioned in the documents that were actually released. I guess my question is, did it surprise you that they were surprised?
Yes. I mean, perhaps not. So much of this investigation, the handling of the Epstein, kind of anything to do with Epstein, has been mishandled from the very beginning, regardless who's been handling it, a Democratic administration, a Republican administration. But this in particular does surprise me, because remember that the Trump administration, it was a campaign promise out on the campaign trail that these files were going to be released. There was so much interest in it. Pam Bondi said that the alleged client list was sitting on her desk. So I think there is a real disconnect between, the interest that they said that they had, and then seemingly not having the interest to gain more information about this before any of this became public. Now, I will say it's important that these are investigative materials. So we would not expect the White House to have access to DOJ materials, or at least we should expect that.
Yeah, but just conceptually, you'd think they'd know, right?
Exactly. But I do think it speaks to a kind of larger thing, which is my reporting reflects, which is that Donald Trump does not share. He has made representations to staffers, to members of Congress in his own party, which have then turned out not to be true on this specific issue. And so that is raising a real alarm on Capitol Hill and even among some White House staff, that they just are caught flat-footed and they cannot fully trust what the president tells them.
Sarah, thank you for your reporting. We appreciate you. Sarah Fitzpatrick reporting in